News station with Nonstop News.
Well, it is what we do. Good morning. Nonstop News starts right now. That means 15 minutes straight of news, weather, traffic. It's everything you need out of a morning show. Joy will tell you what to look out for on your morning commute, but the big story right now is weather, and it's not just cold, Jeanette. We're talking teens and 20s out there.
Yeah, actual air temperatures in the 20s, low 20s, and then you factor the wind, and
Yikes.
It feels like it's only about 10 degrees right now in San Antonio. Coldest air mass of the season is here. We're expecting record cold over the next couple of days. It's slightly colder this morning compared to yesterday morning. We had clouds yesterday morning. This morning, though, we have the clear skies. Thankfully, it's not quite as windy as yesterday morning, but still there is a breeze, which is making it feel colder than the 23 degrees. At the airport, it is 23. It's in the upper teens, though, from the far north side of town up into Kendall County. New Braunfels clocking in at 22 currently, 23 in Seguin, 25 in Pleasanton. Cotulla is really the only spot that is hovering just above the freezing mark. There is some snow out west from Idaho into Utah, also some snow there around the Great Lakes. Do want to point out that although it is going to be dry and sunny today and dry tomorrow morning, we'll start to see a little rain coming in tomorrow afternoon and then maybe some ice in our area tomorrow night into Saturday morning. We'll talk about ice accumulations and some impacts that the ice could have on our area. Your full forecast is coming up in under 10 minutes.
Well, it has very quickly become a pretty chaotic day out there on our roadways, and a lot of stuff happening all on the north side. So what you're looking at live here is a vehicle fire. This is from your South Texas Ford dealer Sky 4. Above the scene, before firefighters even arrived, they just put out those flames, and we're still seeing some smoke coming up from that car as well. This is going to be on the frontage road of I-10 near the medical center. So again, on the north side. They've put those flames out now. We're still working to learn more details to find out if anyone was hurt or what caused this fire. In the meantime, no delay there. Again, it's on the frontage road, not the main lanes of I-10. Also on the north side, a crash here along Loop 410 is slowing us down. That's eastbound at Nacogdoches, causing about a 10 to 15 minute delay. And here's a live picture of that. 2 lines of traffic still allowed through, but that's not enough for the number of people heading through that area right now. On the north side, we're also still tracking that crash on Blanco and Jackson Keller. That started as a carjacking, then a police chase, and then ended with a wreck in a parking lot there on that intersection. So because most of the crash is off the road is still open, at least partially, but they are directing traffic around that issue. Downtown, delays here as well. This is because of construction. I-35 southbound between West Martin Street and Cesar Chavez. This has been the case for several weeks, adding about a 5 to 10 minute delay there. That's the latest. A lot of things that we're covering right now. I'll have updates on all of it when you see me next with your on-time traffic.
All right, Joy, thanks. And I'll sort of piggyback on that breaking news here. So 2 men are in the hospital right now. 2 are in jail after a shooting here at the west side, over on the west side. This happened yesterday afternoon on Marbach Road and Harrell Street. Police say that one man was shot in the stomach, another in the leg. This is actually a different story here. So this is the breaking news that's happening on Blanco and Jackson Keller. 2 people are in custody because of a carjacking that ended with a crash at Blanco and Jackson Keller near Nimitz Middle School. Police say the 2 suspects took a victim's car by force and then drove off. Police were able to chase them down, and then they later crashed there at the scene. But again, they crashed into one person who was taken to the hospital. No word on their condition. Again, this is out in the middle of the intersection of Blanco and Jackson Keller. You can see these school buses going right by there. There is Nimitz Middle School directly across from that Valero, and then Lee High School is about 3 blocks down from Jackson Keller. So a lot of action going on right here where this is all taking place. Now to the story that we were talking about. 2 men are in the hospital. 2 people are in jail after a shooting on the west side. This was yesterday on Marbach and Harrell Street. Police say one man was shot in the stomach, another in the leg because of some fight. One of the men is in critical condition, we're told. Police arrested a man and a woman at the scene. A man who went on a shooting rampage in 2023 and hurt 3 SAPD officers is going to prison for a long time. The DA's office says 29-year-old Jesse Garcia Jr. entered pleas on 10 felony charges. He got 45 years for his crimes. That incident goes back to 2023 when he carjacked a person and fired shots at officers who were chasing him. After that, he barricaded himself inside of an apartment before finally being arrested. 2 Bexar County Sheriff's deputies are in trouble this morning, both facing criminal charges. Now, the first involves 19-year-old David Mauricio Dominguez. The arrest affidavit states that back on February 3rd, Deputy Dominguez hit an inmate in the face and chest and then slammed his head into the ground. Police also say that Dominguez tried washing his blood off the inmate's clothing, tried to hide other evidence as well. Dominguez says the inmate is the one that assaulted him. Dominguez was arrested on 3 charges that include assault. Also, the second case with a deputy has to do with an alleged domestic fight. 24-year-old Andres Garcia was arrested Tuesday night when he allegedly got into a fight with his partner. Apparently wouldn't open up his phone to her. Investigators say that Garcia grabbed the woman's fingers in her hand hard enough that there was swelling apparently in her hand. They say that he tried to block the door when she was trying to leave with their child. Garcia is being charged with unlawful restraint and assault. Well, the TEA has replaced top officials over at South San ISD, including that district superintendent. It's the result of what TEA calls decades of distrust between local leaders. So the TEA making those introductions yesterday, along with the newly appointed 7 board members. Board managers is what they're calling them. The state-appointed board will now run the district after years of controversy. TEA's decision follows a year-long evaluation period in which the district's elected board of trustees failed to correct certain deficiencies. The new superintendent says he's ready to change all this.
In Somerset, I came into a situation similar to what we have here at South San, and having the right people, we were able to achieve great things.
Trustee elections will continue, but the Board of Managers will hold power there for 2 years. That could be extended another 2 years if the TEA decides to do so. All right, back to the weather. With freezing temperatures right now, folks who are living on the streets could be looking for a warm place to sleep and may turn to Haven for hope. But if they don't have an ID, they might be turned away. So the organization is now requiring an ID for that shelter. Spokesperson tells us an ID will help Haven for Hope determine who can be there because they receive funding only for folks who live here in Bexar County.
Having an ID requirement helps us for screening and helps us with background checks. And it also helps us now that the Migrant Resource Center has closed down to help with the influx of people that we may see coming here.
So what happens if they don't? Well, if a person doesn't have an ID, the organization says there are resources there at Haven that they can help them with to recover. And if getting a new ID is not an option, they can only stay there for 15 days' time. Anyone who shows up at Haven looking for a place to sleep will be taken to other nearby shelters. All right, about 10 minutes now for 7 a.m. with Spring Break just around the corner. In fact, less than 3 weeks away. Six Flags Fiesta Texas will be a huge destination for a lot of families here, and they got something new to offer. News 4's Tawny Davis live. She's had a lot of fun this morning. Tawny, this is I'd say you got the cool assignment today.
I guess you could call it that, literally cool, the coolest assignment, but we are finally made it on a ride here at Six Flags. We're on the Metropolis Transit Authority. Think of it as like a monorail, pretty chill ride the whole family can enjoy, but history is being made right here at Six Flags Fiesta Texas with the grand opening of the new DC Universe area, the largest in the U.S. And not only will it have brand new rides, but also many, many attractions for the family to enjoy. Now, this Texas-sized expansion will take guests into the iconic world of the DC Universe. Guests will get to experience new thrills, meet some legendary superheroes and villains, and enjoy attractions for all kinds of fans. The new DC area features 3 all-new rides, including Cyborg Cyber Revolution, Shazam Tower of Eternity, and Metropolis Transit Authority. Not only that, but there are updates to several current rides like Supergirl Skyflight, Poison Ivy Toxic Spin, and the Penguin Gotham City Getaway. And for those who love getting new merch, the newly remodeled Daily Planet is open where you'll be able to find all things DC superhero to take home. And finally, anyone who wants to meet their favorite hero or supervillain will be able to encounter Supergirl, Batman, the Joker, and the Penguin. Now, the grand opening of the new DC Universe area will be on March 1st, just in time for that spring break for everyone. And if you want to get more info on the 2025 passes, you could go to our website, news4sa.com. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Jeanette Caillet.
Oh, Tawny is prepared for the cold, and my goodness, I can't wait to check that out. I'm going to take my kids there, hopefully during spring break. Well, record cold today and tomorrow. We're still dealing with very cold temperatures over the next couple of days. There is some moisture that'll work its way into the area later tomorrow, going into Saturday, and with the cold air still in place, there is the chance for ice, maybe an icy mix for tomorrow night through early Saturday. It'll be drier and warmer on Sunday. That's when we get well above freezing. Big warm up next week. A reminder, extreme cold warning continues until noon today with the wind chill temperatures in the teens here and perhaps single digits or below zero in the hill country. You really have to take those extra steps to keep warm if you are going to be outside for a while, especially if you're someone who works outside. There is a freeze warning for our southern counties through 10 o'clock this morning. Air temperatures are in the single digits in the Panhandle, low teens from Dallas to Abilene. These are actual air temperatures, and it's not too far off from the freezing mark down in Brownsville. They're at 36. It is colder in our area right now than it is in Anchorage, Alaska. They're sitting at 29 degrees. With the north wind, which is over 10 miles an hour, it feels colder. These are the temperatures you want to prepare for. It feels like it is 10 degrees now in San Antonio. And yes, wind chills are in the single digits over northern Bexar County, New Braunfels, Gonzales, and Cuero. Feels like it is 9 degrees, 1 in Rock Springs, and 3 degrees is the wind chill right now in Kerrville. We're seeing dry weather across Texas. In fact, it is dry all across the plains, much of the Midwest. There is some snow across the east from the Great Lakes into the northeast, and also some snow back across Idaho. As we go through the day today, it'll be mostly sunny, but the clouds will be increasing from south to north out ahead of the coastal storm, that weather maker that will likely bring moisture into the area. We'll start to see some mist or drizzle tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Then tomorrow night, once temperatures get to near freezing, this is when we could start to see some freezing mist or drizzle, maybe even some freezing light rain. Could be some sleet in the mix. That'll continue until early Saturday morning. Then once temperatures get above freezing by 9-10 Saturday morning, this will turn to just liquid precipitation, and we'll have on and off rain showers Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. Once that storm system pulls away, it'll be drying out on Sunday. This is how much ice could build up on power lines, trees, maybe even some icy conditions on bridges, overpasses, and flyovers. Again, this is Friday night into early Saturday morning. In that darker pink is where we're talking ice accumulations over 1/10 of an inch. That's northern Bexar County and points north. Heads up New Braunfels, Seguin, Canyon Lake, back towards portions of Kendall County. We'll be on top of that for you. Make sure you have that 4-zone weather app so you can stay ahead of that. Dry today, mostly sunny, very cold. Temperatures in the low to mid 20s until mid morning. We jump to the low and mid 30s above freezing by noon, and then should top out at 41. 29 to 36 tomorrow, cloudy all day. Slight rain chance in the afternoon. Slight chance for that ice Friday night. 50% rain chance later Saturday. 40% rain chance Saturday night. Sunday, we're dry. We see some sun. It warms up to 65. Next week, high temperatures will be in the 70s and 80s. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones. In the western zone, mid 40s tomorrow, low 50s on Saturday, then warming up. Hill country, you're looking at a 20 to 30% chance of that wintry precipitation Friday night. Best rain chance Saturday in the eastern zone.
Well, another live look outside here where we are seeing a backup forming on Loop 410. It's going to be the eastbound lanes. Right now, pushing it about 20 minutes. This is going to be at Nacogdoches, again eastbound. So far, that line has only been growing. 2 lanes open there. Also on the north side, even though this vehicle fire has now been put out, they are still working to clean all of that up. And so the eastbound lanes of I-10 between Medical Drive and Callahan, the frontage road, not the main lanes, are going to be shut down. So the frontage road is closed there while they continue to clean all of that up. Not seeing a delay on the main lanes. Also on the north side, we do still have a partial closure on Blanco. This is at Jackson Keller, and that is because of that crash earlier in the morning involving a carjacking, a police chase, and then eventually this wreck ended up in a parking lot. So only part of Blanco is closed, but still enough to add a couple of minutes there. downtown, an extra 5 or 10 minutes on I-35, I should say, southbound between West Martin Street and Cesar Chavez because of construction. That's the latest. I'm going to keep you updated every morning right here with your on-time traffic.
All right, Joy, thanks. Time for one final look at the morning headlines. This is video from this morning's fire, which is being described as a homeless camp on the north side. Firefighters were able to knock that out. They were called out about 2 a.m. to some property here along San Pedro and Bassi. There were 6 vehicles on fire. That fire, again, has been put out. No one got hurt. Hamas has released the bodies of 4 Israeli hostages to the Red Cross. They're a mother here. You see a 33-year-old mom or 2 children. One's a 4-year-old, one's a 9-month-old. Also an 83-year-old man. Israel says that the bodies need to undergo forensic testing to confirm their identity. They were captured during the Hamas attack, and Hamas claims all 4 were killed during an airstrike. The transfer is part of a ceasefire deal that is expected to expire next month. On a lighter note, Spurs are back in action tonight after the All-Star break. However, they are in Austin for 2 games, one against the Suns tonight, another one against the Pistons tomorrow. Could be some bad news for fans who bought tickets. Wemby is sick and listed as doubtful. No word if he's going to play. This is the 3rd year, by the way, the Spurs have played 2 home games. Although, I think Austin fans will be excited. Kevin Durant is going to be back in town. He went to Texas, so
cool.
He has a history there, obviously.
Speedy recovery to Wemby and stay warm. It's cold out there.
Good advice. Today is a gift. Make it count.